What activities can we do for free on Odyssey of the Seas? There's a whole article, Midnight Air, that I have for you at royalcaribbeanblog.com. There's a number of activities. There's a lot of activities that you can do on the Odyssey of the Seas that are included. In fact, most activities are actually included, and a lot of attention goes to the stuff that costs extra. But Midnight Air, I want you to check out this article that I'm posting in the chat right now with our Odyssey of the Seas guide that will give you a really good frame of reference for what activities are included with your cruise. But obviously, you're going to have entertainment every night included. You're going to have all the fun activities on the top deck included as well. So there's plenty going on over there. Recommendations for excursions in Belize City. So when we went to Belize last time, we did an excursion through the Private Journeys group. Private Journeys is Royal Caribbean's private shore excursion option. So this is not a group tour, but we went to I contacted Private Journeys, said we got 2 kids. We want to do something special with them. So they took us to the Belize Zoo, and then we went to a restaurant for lunch and then a beach to go swimming. And they loved it. It was really a lot of fun because the zoo was like just enough time to, burn like an hour or two, go to the restaurant, have a lunch, and then be able to, relax at the beach for a little bit. That was a lot of fun. And that was all through Royal Caribbean. So Private Journeys. I'm actually doing 2. Well, I'm doing 1 for sure, maybe 2 private journeys when we go to California on Navigator of the Seas. In Mexico. So I'll have more updates on that when we try that out. How is the nightlife bars during COVID times? Is it almost the same? It's pretty much almost the same. Everyone in there in all these places will be fully vaccinated. And now when there's higher capacity, it starts to feel like a bar again and not like 3 people in a room, which is really nice. On Quantum out of Vancouver to Hawaii, October 22, will the food be more geared towards North America, or does that ship always have mostly Asian food? What are we talking about again? Quantum? Well, it's a good question, John. Quantum was supposed to come over to the United States, obviously, as you all know, because with Alaska, that didn't happen because of COVID. Usually when ships come over to North America, they un-Asiafy them in terms of the cuisine. They bring them, make it more North American friendly in terms of the cuisine on there. And certainly Quantum, let me backtrack for a second. When Ovation of the Seas did the same thing, Ovation started out in China, came over and now does North America and Australia. They brought that back in line. So I would expect it to be more like other ships in the fleet in terms of North American cuisine and not, they'll maybe take away some of the casino gaming space, which they would have dedicated over in China. But there shouldn't be that much of a change right there. How is the Voom internet? It really depends on the ship. This is something that unfortunately I've quit complaining about because there's no point. Royal Caribbean calls Voom, which is the name for its onboard Wi-Fi, Voom on every single ship. But every single ship, it's not the same speeds. It depends on the ship. Some ships, Odyssey, Harmony, Oasis, the internet is really good. Other ships, Mariner, Navigator, Brilliance, it's really bad. And when I say bad, I mean it's really slow for anything that's more than just basic web browsing. Video is really bad. It can, it's just more like old school ship internet, unfortunately. So it depends on the ship, quite frankly. How is Royal Caribbean with international passengers in the U.S. traveling from Europe next year? Will vaccination cards from Europe countries be accepted? Yes, they will, because we've already had a number of international visitors come here already. And where can EU passengers get tested in the U.S.? To go back home, Royal Caribbean will give you a test on board the ship. If you need a test, like when you get to the United States, the airport is the most convenient option. There are testing options at all the airports. Look up the airport. Just Google whatever airport you're flying into. John F. Kennedy Airport, Miami International Airport, space, COVID testing, and make an appointment for one of those. And that'd probably be your easiest. If you're flying across the Atlantic, the last thing you want to do is start hopping in taxis to go find some other place to get a test. Just get it done in the airport and have it done with. You know what I mean? Have you experienced any good excursions with animals? My kid was sad about losing swimming with stingrays in Antigua. We haven't done a ton of animal encounter excursions. I remember we did a bus tour in Barbados. That wasn't the point of like an animal encounter was not part of the excursion, but we stopped on the side of the road and my kid fed a monkey, which was kind of like, okay, cool. I hear a lot of good things about the swimming with pigs that you can do while you're at Coco Cay or Nassau. That one has gotten pretty good reviews. There's also some with dolphins things. Blue Lagoon, Shannon, might be the place to do it, actually. Now think about it. In Nassau, Blue Lagoon offers a number of animal encounters. That might be your best option there. Would it be worth using Private Journeys in San Juan? Yes. Private Journeys works everywhere. You know what I love about Private Journeys is it's about doing what you want with a tour that kind of takes you through the whole. They do all the hard work in terms of like planning it all out, getting you in the places, taking care of admission, getting you from point A to point B and back. I love it because what allows you to do 12th man is you can do basically a Royal Caribbean shore excursion with all the benefits of a Royal Caribbean shore excursion, but you customize it the way that you want to do it, and it's just your own group. We just did a couple tours when we were on Harmony of the Seas. We did 2 group tours, traditional shore excursions. And listen, group excursions are not terrible, but they're just not my style anymore. They move at a slow pace. There's a lot of hurry up and wait, and it's inefficient to my liking personally. Now, I might be saying, well, I'm willing to do a private journey shore excursion because it allows us to move at our own pace and do what we want to do when we want to do it, but still do a Royal Caribbean excursion. So yeah, there's a couple things you want to do, or so you want to go somewhere that's a little further away out of your comfort level, because there's a big world in Puerto Rico beyond San Juan, and there's a lot of cool things to do there. So I would say absolutely, yeah. There's something I've always wanted. It's funny you mentioned this, 12th man. There's something I've always wanted to do in San Juan. Maybe we'll do that when we go on one of my cruises coming up that we're stopping there. I remember there is some like natural water slides. Like there's a maybe it's in El Yunque, which is the rainforest, but there is like a park, and there are these like rivers, small little, not rivers, but creeks or whatever that form like almost water slides. I remember seeing Royal Caribbean did like a video of them like years ago, and I've always wanted to do that. So I'll have to check that out. How does Cruise with Confidence work? Essentially, if you book your cruise between now or anytime in the past up until December 17th, 2021, essentially you have up to 48 hours to cancel your cruise with no penalty. If you cancel your cruise with Cruise with Confidence, you're eligible for a 100% future cruise credit. So regardless if you booked refundable or non-refundable cruise fare, it does not matter. You're going to get a future cruise credit for the full value of whatever monies you paid back, and that FCC can be used towards another cruise fare. It's like a gift certificate, a voucher, if you will, for a future cruise trip. It's not the same thing as a cash refund. If you want to do a cash refund, you have to cancel before the final payment date. So, did the Royal Caribbean travel insurance cover COVID? So that's a great question. Royal Caribbean, let's take the travel insurance out of it for a second. Royal Caribbean on their own is already covering a lot of what COVID could possibly impact your cruise. What I mean by that, Jeanette, if you look up the protocols right now, and this could change, but as of right now, again, if you or anyone in your travel party tests positive between now, within 14 days of your cruise, you're eligible for a full refund, no questions asked. Well, they're gonna say just show us that you're tested positive, but no problems at all. Not like full refund. You can postpone your cruise, whatever you want to do. They'll work with you. If you test positive during the cruise, they're going to take care of you. They're going to get you home. Actually, Jeanette, they're actually flying people home on private jets at Royal Caribbean's cost. That's not through the travel insurance. This is just through Royal Caribbean on their own, trying to do the right thing. And they'll refund you for the lost time while you're on board the ship. So check out their policy. I'm paraphrasing, so this is not obviously any legally binding stuff I'm telling you, but they have a policy in place to cover those things. And the travel insurance, in addition, is just a good idea. You slip and fall, you get sick on there. It's not COVID related. Yeah. Favorite specialty dining on Oasis, excluding Izumi, 150 Central Park. I would say 150 Central Park. We're trying to narrow it down. We already know we're dining at Izumi. Probably going to purchase a 3-night dining package. I would do Izumi. I do 150 Central Park, and I would I'd pay cash to eat a portside barbecue. Do not use your credit over there. That's a waste of money. Number 3, Playmakers. Those are my 3-4, if you will. James wants to go to Alaska. Know of any good prices and when sailing? Yeah, so the key to getting a really good price in Alaska, and again, it depends on what a good price means. The cheapest prices are always in the shoulder season. So the first month or the last month of the season, May or September, you'll find great rates. Why? Well, kids are in school, and it's the end of the season. It's a little bit colder than it is during, like, say, June, July, and August, which is the peak of the season. So that's a good place to start right there. How was the Broadway show, ice show, and aqua show? Thank you, Matt. Fantastic. When we were on board, we only saw some of the shows because they were not showing The Fine Line and Columbus the Musical, which are my favorites. The Fine Line is the best show in the Aqua show. The other one, The Hideaway, whatever it is okay. The Ice Show, there's 1887, and there is Ice Skate. Ice Skate is the better show, and the Broadway show, I mean, Grease is the word. It's the word for a reason. It's really, really good. They're really talented folks out there. So, yep. Thank you to everybody for checking us out here. RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. There's still plenty more Royal Caribbean news, information, fun, advice waiting for you over there. When we're not live here, we're over at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. There are like 3 new blog posts up there tomorrow we've got a new YouTube video coming out as well, right here on our YouTube channel, podcast episodes, message boards, plenty to keep you entertained between now and our next live broadcast here on YouTube. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here. This has been Matt. Thank you again for joining. I really, really appreciate your time. Have a great week, everybody. Stay safe out there. Do something fun, like maybe book a cruise. And we'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. Good night, everybody.